Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin.
And I'm Sandra Priestley. Welcome to our podcast.
Happy
Happy Thursday.
Thursday.
Oh, I am drinking. I feel like I'm getting boring. I don't know. I'm just drinking the same thing all the time out of a can, but I've been drinking lately. I know. Sparkling water beverage. It's raspberry acai with no sweeteners. It tastes good. And I'm all about the water.
Yes.
So what are you drinking today?
Well, we went to lunch not too long ago, and I had about 3 big giant glasses of water. So when we got home, and someone may or may not have opened up a bottle of, I think it's a Blondie Cuvée. It's not in here with me. I poured me a little glass.
Well, you can't let it go bad.
Can't waste it.
Can't waste it. No.
No.
Oh, I am telling you, what a crazy football season this has been like.
Exciting.
I hosted a football watch party last night. I don't fly to Manitoba. Like, that's the one game that I don't go to. So we had a football watch party last night. Cole got injured at the very first quarter of the game. He's okay, but he was able to watch the end of the game or play the end of the game, which no, he was not. He was not. He played the rest of the game. So he was out for the rest of the game, and they lost by 1 point in the last second. But it was fun nonetheless. Mm-hmm. And I got to wear my jersey that says to Priestley on the back and his number. And so that was super fun. And I really just, it was so interesting because Cam was stressed. Cam was at work at the time, and he was listening to the game, and he was stressed. He's like, oh no, he's hurt. And he just goes to the dark side so quick. And I feel like I knew that he was going to be fine. I knew that it wasn't a serious injury. It was either that or just, I really feel like I am appreciating the moments.
Yeah.
I appreciate every single game. Like, Cam has this vision of this is his goal. His goal is to play pro. And what if he can't? And I'm just like, but we could just enjoy the journey,
Yeah.
It's dangerous, man. There's lots of men out there getting hurt all the time.
Right.
I knew he was fine. But to me, it's like, I could sit at home by myself and watch the game. Or I could have a watch party and I could experience something that I'm not going to experience again.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I did yesterday. It was super fun. We're going again, traveling to watch him for the next 4 weeks in a row. So it's a lot of travel.
So much fun.
So much fun.
Well, it's like we are on the same wavelength, just about being in the moment. We went to pick up Maria. It was Friday the 13th, and it was movie night. And so Lily went and got popcorn and junk and all the stuff they don't need.
Yeah.
Made him a big pallet in the living room floor and got the movie. I mean, it was fun. We had an amazing weekend, and I'm going to try not to be emotional. But it hit me like a ton of bricks. Holy shit. I'm going to have that baby a handful of times over the next 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a amazing weekend, and I packed it full of, we went to the caves and explored the caves and saw bats, and it was
Oh,
It was,
that
I
was
did
a
not
lot
know about the bats until we
of fun.
were in the fucking cave, Sandra.
Okay, like I'm
And
thinking,
the
wow, what a
guide,
friendly. Like
yeah,
she leaves stuck with these things.
the
Let's
guide is
not.
flashing the light so that we can see the bats. And our head, it's like this much over where we have to walk under. And Maria is like, I'm not going in a bat with caves. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be fine. In my head, I'm going, holy fuck balls. But
Yeah,
I can't show that to her.
right.
But we go and we have the cave adventure and we come home and we cook dinner and Paul's sister and husband come over and they have dinner with us. And then it's time to put up Halloween decorations, Geely. And because I'd gotten them all out.
Okay.
But it's too early to put them up in the front yard because of our HOA rules. So I was just going to deck out the backyard. And Maria's got her arms full, just walking to the front door. And I'm like, Maria, where are you going? She's like, out front. And I said,
Aw,
no, we're putting those in the back. She goes, why would we put those in the back? They need to be out front.
she's so cute. Oh my gosh.
And I kept telling her, we've got to put them out back. But she kept going to the door. And I thought, why do you care about some stupid HOA rule? Your granddaughter will not be back to do Halloween decorations with you until she's 10, which was a punch in the gut.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck it. Let's go, girl. And we did. We got the ladder, we got Paw, we got all the stuff out there. He hung the big web over the window. We hung the ghost up. We put the pumpkin witch on the veranda. We put the signs out. Like it is
Well,
Halloween.
September, middle of September, and Halloween at the Kubin's
Like
house.
colored lights. When it gets dark, we have a projector that puts it all over the garage. And then we sat out there. Like we got done and we were inside. And I'm like, let's go. And she goes, what? And we just went and sat out on the sidewalk, leaning back. And she goes, what are we doing? And I'm like, we're just making a memory. Like, look at what we just did tonight. Look at
Yeah.
how fun this was. And I want you to remember this for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
And we had some of the best talks. She sleeps with us when she's here. And we always go to bed before Paw does. And we always have a movie on, but we just sat and talked. And she told me things like she's a human being. She is
Mm.
not this little infant. Like she has ideas and fears and beliefs, and listening to her just share them with me was a moment that made me so grateful and excited. And then also, holy fuck, she's leaving. She's
Mhm.
leaving. And so I'm in this weird, I can feel the emotions that I might have been going, tamp it down, tamp it down. I can feel those that I'm going to have to deal with. But what came out of this weekend, every moment needs to be like that because we don't know. I mean, in my mind, in my genetics, I'm going to live to be 95. And I need to expect that I'm going to live to be 95. But at the same moment, we don't know that. And if we think we're living to 95, then we can waste this moment right now. But what if we can't waste this moment right now? Or we
Mm.
shouldn't. And so I'm trying to wrap my brain around this whole thing of we don't know. And that child is going to start an adventure that is going to change the course of her life. Like, what is going to be open and possible for her right now is something that's different. Once she goes to Japan for 4 years and she learns a new culture, she meets new people, she expands her world.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't take that from her or Logan and Mona for anything in the world. And so, yes, I need to celebrate that. And I need to celebrate every moment I have with them until they're gone and while they're gone. But more than that, I need to celebrate everyone with me every single day because you don't know.
Mhm.
Every moment is precious and special and sacred,
Yeah.
but we don't
I
treat it that way.
We don't. I did this when I had my second child.
Hmm.
When I had Cole, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. And I felt like I was sort of in this like constant state of I don't know, brace yourself. Like something fucking shitty
Yeah.
could happen any moment. Like
Yeah.
brace yourself. What's next? I don't know. And so then, 22 months later, actually when I became pregnant with Shay, I made this commitment to myself that I was going to cherish, because I knew I was only going to have two children, that I was going to cherish every day.
Yeah.
I was going to remember what it felt like to be pregnant, remember what it felt like to give birth, remember what it felt like to have that like creature moving around inside your stomach, like all of
Best
those things,
feeling.
the
Yeah.
best feeling ever.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, I lived that pregnancy with intention. I lived her life with intention after that. And I started to with Cole too. It was like, holy shit. I was pregnant and I was like just, waiting for the next day when I could have just been enjoying the moment. So I started to really intentionally enjoy, like really focusing on every single day being a gift, and what can I remember from these blessed moments, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that changed. I feel like it changed everything. And then somewhere along the way I kind of forgot about that,
Yeah. Got in the middle of life
Yeah, I
and the
mean,
tantrums and the,
busy, so
yeah.
busy, like, get up and the kids don't want to go to school and I don't want to make their fucking lunches. And like, and I gotta, now they're late, they missed the bus, I gotta drive them to school, I gotta get to work, there's a whole bunch of shit that happens at work, and come home, and sports and food and homework, gross, why don't the teachers teach them anymore, and go to bed.
Yeah. And then get up and do it all over again.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
assembly kind of tasks that I'm not really feeling love for.
Yeah.
And you know then Cole moved away in 2020, and holy shit, see, like, you weren't going to be emotional, but now I am. That was so hard.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had a friend of mine said it is like the worst breakup ever, and I felt that so deeply. And
Hmm.
it became this like, holy shit, when he comes home, every moment is going to be a blessing. Every single moment, like every call,
Yeah.
everything. And I feel sometimes I need to constantly remind myself every single day when I wake up, every day is a blessing. Like,
Yeah.
how can I live it with intention? How can I appreciate every single moment? Because you never know.
Yeah. You don't. You don't.
You're going to fly by life just on, what is that? Like on new
Autopilot.
autopilot. Thank you.
Yeah.
Neutral, but I knew that was not right. Fly by life on autopilot, and then all of a sudden look back and go, why in the fuck did I not wait
Yeah.
and just pause and smell the flowers?
Yeah.
Why did I not go out on the lake? When Cam was going out fishing last weekend, and Shay and him, they wanted to go to the beach. And I thought, oh, I've got so much stuff to do. And it was that moment where I went, no, I've got memories to make. Same thing, right? Like, get
Yeah.
your shit together, you can go. But we don't do that enough.
Mm-mm. No, because we get so caught up in life
Yeah.
and what we think we have to do, what's so important. And a lot of these things that we think are so important are just bullshit.
Right.
They're not even real. I mean, they're real things, but they're not something that we think we're required
Yeah,
to put our attention. No, no.
exactly. There's a saying that I love that says, if it won't matter in 5 years, don't spend more than 5 minutes on it.
Yeah.
And it's mostly about like worrying and feeling like shit over something, that is really irrelevant. But I also think the flip side is, if it will matter in 5 years, pay attention to it, spend
Yeah.
it, like do the things so that you'll remember, you know?
Because they're
Yeah.
around us every day. There's little magical things
Mhm.
all around us.
Yeah.
And you want to miss them? Because we're busy, got our head down, blinders
Exactly.
on. I've
Yeah.
got to focus on this shit that doesn't matter. Because I'm
Yeah.
really mad about this.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
Easton was being a complete turd this weekend.
Oh,
Been good all weekend.
he's my favorite.
But I mean, him and Maria did well all weekend. But this morning, he was just, yeah. And we went to lunch, and I thought that his mother was going to go sit in the truck with him because he was being a terrorist.
Oh no.
And let me tell you that as soon as that child got food in him,
Totally different. He's just
different kid, he was hangry. And Lily said that when we sat down. She's like, I wonder if he's hangry.
yeah.
The kid was hangry. And it was funny because he was so defiant that anything you would tell him not to do, he would do twice. You know, it was that kind of like, what is wrong with you, kid? Kind of a moment. And then after he calmed down, I went, oh, yeah, we do that as adults too.
Mhm.
We get hangry, we get
Yeah.
tired, and we lose our mind,
Yeah.
like fly off the handle for no reason in particular, make things that aren't really a big deal into this huge thing that can ruin our whole day.
Exactly.
And I went, oh, that's a human response. So when your body tells you to rest, listen. And when your body tells you to eat, feed it.
Yeah.
Because
Most problems can be avoided if we do.
food and sleep. Yeah, well, we got back and I was feeling that like I need a rest. And so I told them, I'm like, I'm going to go in the bedroom, like leave me alone for 30 minutes because I wanted to do one of my recordings. And because it makes me feel restful. You know, a hypnotherapy session just makes me feel restful. It gets me to focus. I don't really go to sleep, but it shuts off my mind enough to let my body just relax. Well, Lily has a new friend, and they've been chatting for 3 or 4 months now. Maybe it's longer
Is
than that.
oh,
And he came over today. We met him for the first time. So Paul comes in because he's here at this point, and Paul comes in right at the end when I'm counting down to pull myself out on the recording. And so he walks outside and he's like, yeah, mom's in there hypnotizing herself.
oh no.
Oh, what's this guy going to think? But I guess he's just going to get to see us for who we are on day one.
Right? Yeah, might as well. Might as well.
But we're not going to be hungry and we're not going to be tired.
Right.
So we should be well behaved.
Man, man. Well, that's exciting news.
I know.
I I had a call with a client a couple of days ago, and I can't remember what it was, but you said something that triggered this for me. Her son had been injured, so they had to do all of these things. They had to take him to a bigger center. Like they had to drive 3.5 hours to Edmonton, take him to this bigger center, see what the experts thought. And so he's got this full leg cast on now. Not easy for an athlete who's used to being so active to have a full leg frigging cast on. And to worry about, like, what does this, he's in high school, he's hoping for football scholarship. So like, what does this mean for my scholarship? It's a mind fuck like no other, right?
Sure.
And so he was in a great deal of pain even a week later. She tried to call the hospital. And when she did, now this is a very reputable children's hospital. When she did, this woman was rude, just in general, like, we did try to call you, which they didn't, just it rattled her. This was like 8:30 in the morning. It rattled her. And so by probably, I think it was 3 o'clock when I was talking to her, she's like, I don't know what's the matter. I don't know what happened today, but everything went to crap. Like everything has fallen apart. And this made me upset. And this made me mad. And this. And I said, oh, but you started off with the girl at the hospital. And she went, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It is so wild how we aren't living intentionally, right? We're not paying attention. We're just living in the moment, reacting. We're reacting to the situation. We're trying to manage it,
Yeah.
And then we get caught up and we don't realize that, like the secret says, right? You stub your toe on your dresser and then everything goes to shit.
Yeah. Because that is now your focus.
That's your
Fuck,
focus.
my toe hurts.
What happened all dang day long for her. She was good. He was in pain and they were told to call if the pain shifted, they're worried about compartment syndrome. And so she called like she was told to. And this woman treated her poorly and like everything. Her husband was pissing her off. Her kids were pissing her off. Her son's at school. He's mad. He got to go to the hospital. I mean, it was a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah.
She wasn't, I keep thinking like if she were sitting in intention and not kind of caught up in that, not autopilot, but response to crisis mode,
Yeah.
If she had been living in intention, if she had been living in awareness of crap, I feel this way. I reacted this way to this woman who I will never meet.
Yeah. Never. You wouldn't know her if you walked past her on the street.
Or doesn't matter, right? Like she's not even living in the same city. So I reacted this way. I chose to react this way. I internalized it. And then everything, that's where my focus was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said to her, probably throughout the series of today, you needed to wash your hands in cold water numerous times. She's like, oh, yes, I should have. I'm going to do that right now. That's one of the things that a psychic medium that I love always said, like to get rid of, you should do prayer work or some sort of like affirmations.
Yeah.
Affirmation to sort of like rid your body of energies that you've picked up, or sage or Palo Santo or incense or I don't know, holy water, dousing yourself. I don't know. But she said, if you don't have any of those options and you're just going to go from client to client to client or situation to situation, or you've experienced something, go wash your hands in cold water. The cold water releases that energy, whereas warm or hot water holds it in. And she said, shoot, she does do this. Like I taught her this. And so she does do this from time to time. But she's like, I should have been washing my hands all day long.
Mhm.
But she
Yeah.
probably needed to wash her hands all day long if she just let go of the first one, you
But
know?
what? She will never forget that day.
No,
She
true.
will not forget how it unfolded. She will not forget how one thing followed and the next thing and the next thing. And she'll
Yeah.
see her part in it. And next time that she bumps up against something like that, she'll stop and go, oh, this is familiar.
Yeah.
What do I need to do?
I'm not going
So,
to.
as awful as these days are, if we will stop and pay attention instead of telling everybody about what a crappy ass day we had and that bitch nurse,
Yeah, exactly.
and we learn, oh, stop right now.
Yeah.
Don't go down that road. We know where
I
that road leads.
I kind of go the bitchier route. Not necessarily, but I will say, like, I'm not going to let that bitch ruin my day. So
Oh,
it's,
yeah,
oh, what do
that's
you
fine too.
sound lovely? But it's like, fuck you. And the stick you rode in on, you are not going to ruin my day.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Whatever works. Whatever works.
Not today, motherfucker.
Not today. Right. Right.
Well, life is too short, and we believe that we have to tolerate things. Now, we don't have to fight and say you need to be different. It's just like if this is who you are, I don't fit here. That doesn't make you wrong. It doesn't make me wrong. It just means that we're not a fit. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. I'm choosing different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels good to be able to choose. Because
It
I
does.
remember when I didn't know that you could.
Me too. I
And
exactly. We're sitting in this space of like, well, we have to play nice. I remember going to hockey games, watching Cole when he was little. And Cam would say, why aren't you talking to these people? Like, why aren't like you just come in, you sit down, you don't say hi, and then you are, I'm like, yeah, because sorry, but I don't like them. I
you're like, I
I don't
don't
like
like them.
sorry, but I don't like the drama. I don't like the way that they will talk about the coaches or talk about the players in front of their kids. I don't like the way that they put so much pressure on their kids. I don't like the way that they scream at my kid
Mm,
for making a mistake at 9 years old. Like, sorry, but like, I don't need that in my life. Like, why would I?
yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Prior to that, I was very much, I have to be nice to everyone. I'm expected to be, I'm going to be, it's like a Stepford mom, I don't know, or Stepford wife, like show up like everyone else, smile and do the thing. And then all of a sudden, it just became this moment where I realized, fuck this shit, man.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be friends with you if you were my neighbor. Why am I going to be friends with you because I have to sit and join,
Right.
this
Yeah.
game?
Yeah.
I can sit elsewhere. I'm going to be okay on my
Go
own.
anywhere. Yeah, and we're lucky, like with Logan and basketball, we met some amazing people. Like we
Mm,
bonded, but it was a different vibe. But we were together year round because we would play school ball and then we would
oh,
play select ball on the off season. So
yes.
it just became a family. But we were all kind of on the same page. Now,
Yeah.
the dads would yell a lot. And sometimes Logan would go, Mom, can you tell Dad to shut up? Like he just loves you. He just loves you. But you'll get it one day. He's got to have a boy one day so that he can get it. But I think we're out of time. Yes.
Oh, yes, we are.
Okay, this was good. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I hope you have an amazing week. And thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.